A lot of times you don't have an idea for something, but you've got a deadline. And that fear is a great thing to work on you, on me specifically. I mean, I'm driven by it. Will I fail? Will I get it together in time? It's a great motivator to do some of your best work.
I think one of the really striking things about Sam, and maybe you know, is that he's the audience. He watches the movie and makes the movie for the audience, and identifies with the characters, and is really thinking about, you know, the rhythms of the movie and how the movie's going to play for himself as an audience.
Got it now. Good. That was good. All right, that's a print.
Spider-Man and Sam Raimi are the same thing to me. You know, it comes from him. It's his vision.
Kids come to this picture, and Spider-Man is their hero. And I'm not talking about because of the first movie. I just mean anyone you put in a superhero outfit and you play the heroic horns on the soundtrack, they are going to look up to as the hero. You just get that unearned. It's not fair, but it really is true. So you have an obligation to bring your character to the level that's worth their admiration. You get it without having paid for it. So the job of making the movie in some way is paying for it.
Sam, I need you to take a look at this and put your masterful eye to the choice of locations that we have.
All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look with the audience. Let them help make Spider-Man. This is rehearsal of the end of the walk, the halt in front of the alley. You ready, mister? Great. Now this time, ready, and action. Okay, ready, and action.
And now for the main event. Give me the blue light, Rosie. It's a very different, very unique way of filming. It's not like anything most of us get to do, really. You know, it's much more to do with the technology. So you can't fight that. You can't sort of start. You can't stand in the middle of all this technology and say, I'm a bit worried about, why am I here? You can't really, I mean, you got to be serious about it, but you can't. You have to balance the elements of the job. It's a very particular way of working, and it's a very interesting. I find it, absolutely fascinating.
3, 2, 1, strike! Oh, that was bitchin'. Let's do another one, just because you can. On a roll. Let's go.
As the director of a picture, the crew is expecting you to know what you're doing and trusting in you to know what you're doing, to lead them. Everyone is really doing the work. It's just that the finished product is more in the director's hands than the other artistic contributors. And there are so many artistic contributors, from the actors, to the grips, to the electricians, to the makeup departments, to the hair departments, to the wardrobe, everybody. So the fact that the movie did well made me feel great in the sense that I thought that all the people that worked on the picture for so long and hard must have thought that I had led them well, because the movie turned out okay.
I think that crew was the hardest working crew I've ever seen. And it was because Sam treated them well and treated them with respect, and I think they would have walked across hot coals for him had he requested it.
We were scouting, prepping, producing, and shooting all at the same time. The word balance is probably not the way to describe this process. We were on a timetable. Actually, the movie was supposed to be out in May.
I think the sense of community and one vision obviously has to come from the director. It really comes from Sam, who has a very clear vision and is a very good communicator of that vision.
He is willing them to life, concentrating, and now this one trembles and the other, and they start to rise up, up, up to the top. And now one or two of you notice the monitor, images of yourselves, and now he opens his eyes and steps down.
My smart arms are controlled by my brain through a neural link.
He's very, very concerned with telling the right story and telling the story well. And so there's in both Spider-Man 1 and 2, I think there's a great balance between the huge kind of money shots and those moments of tenderness or moments of great intimacy.
Do you love me or not?
He's not going for a conventional, love story. Or you have to have those moments that everybody clings on to, but then he'll completely take you off guard in the next moment.
Any of the fans who thought that Sam Raimi was a sellout has turned his back on Evil Dead and all the movies that he's excelled at and is known for will finally have to shut their mouths, because it's like full-on Sam Raimi.
He's a very well-rounded director. He delivers very exciting visual images, but he cares a lot about the actors, and I've had a blast with him.
Peter. He says to me, look, you're my partner in telling this story. You're my partner in building your character of Peter Parker, but I also trust you in telling this story of this movie with me. So if you have anything to say, any suggestions, I feel completely free to just bring up anything I want.
Yeah. No, I want you to do it the way I want you to do it. You're gonna do it the way I want you to do it. When I say jump, you say what color?
Well, Sam, you're telling me that as if that's something I don't know, as if something's changed. I've gone through your reviews from the first picture, and here we are in the second picture. Once again, you're the puppet master, I'm the puppet. You're pulling the strings. Okay, Godfather.
I can see it my way.
I hear them sort of teasing each other a little bit and smiling and giggling a bit between them. They've obviously reached a very deep understanding of how to work together and a deep respect.
I'll tell you something else. The performance isn't good enough. I want some real quality acting in this picture. I want something like Bruce Campbell would give me.
Oh, shoelace.
You might want to... For me, the whole thing is very amusing, and it's been fun to watch, because why not have a guy who made, Evil Dead for $350,000 do Spider-Man? Because that's the guy you want, not the guy who's used to having everything all the time. Give it to someone who's used to doing a bunch with nothing. Now you give him something, and you can... I think it was a good choice. It was a good match of material, because Sam's always been a comic book guy.
Action. All right, run a picture of a rancid chicken, food poisoning scare, Sweep City.
Some food got poisoned?
I'm a little nauseous, yeah.
The first movie Sam and I did together, I think we very quickly felt very comfortable together, and it gets more and more fun, and it's like going to a reunion every time I get to work with him again.
It gives me a great sense of stability, and I know that certain scenes will work because I've got these particular actors in it.
When we got back into the Daily Bugle, it felt like going home again, because this guy brings in an element of this movie that everybody fell in love with in movie one, and everybody wanted more.
Miss Brandt, give me a violin.
I think it's all there in the comic book, really. I mean, obviously you can't hear it, but the bluster is all there. The look obviously is there, the hair, the mustache, and all that.
I was afraid some people might think, oh, it's going to be too broad. I had heard that when I was shooting it. But I always found him funny. He's just a great actor. Seems to always have the right stuff for the right scenes, no matter what parts he's playing.
He means a lot to me because I always wanted to play J. Jonah Jameson. I wish they had made the movie 30 years ago so I could have. But I always felt I knew, I mean, he's my favorite character. I love J. Jonah Jameson. And I got to tell you that he plays the role, I hate to say it, better than I could have done it. I mean, he is wonderful. He has captured Jameson perfectly.
It was a throwback almost to those, the 40s, the 50s, that kind of, you know, fast-talking newsroom, you know, chatter. And I spent a couple days at the New York Post and you know, obviously a much more contemporary setting, you know. But that vibe of that sort of, you know, hectic, especially as the deadline nears, you know, as you get later in the day, the activity level gets really amped up, you know, and that style just sort of seemed to lend itself.
We got 6 minutes to deadline, Jonah. We need page 1.
The dean of the university's furious.
Why?
Your article said that he wasn't even fit to teach kindergarten.
Sam is, to a large degree, an actor himself, though he doesn't really act, but he acts in his mind. In other words, he sees, I think he sees the characters that way, it seems to me. So then when he gets to set, he's got an idea of the rhythm and the pace, and he just plugs the actors in who can do that for him. So when he arrives on set, we just get sort of plugged in, and it works quite nicely.
The advantage of working with people that you know is that you know what their abilities or disabilities are, and you know how to work with them. The bad news is that, you know, now that Sam's got the guys sometimes that he wants, he can bring them in. He also feels that he can browbeat him now too.
Bruce said, you know, Sam's great, except he's got this strange thing for verbal and physical abuse, and he beat Bruce with a stick.
No, Bill
Me. Sam doesn't hit me or verbally abuse me quite as much as he did before, because there's too many people standing around now. If your crew is only 6 people, you can do whatever you want to the lead actor. No one's going to tell.
Anytime that Sam can throw something at me, he will.
Filming is not a democracy. It's a benign dictatorship. And the boss is on the floor. The boss is the director, and the director sets the tone.
And you're going to do it like I tell you to do it, or you get off the set. Also, you mess this up again and you're off the set.
That is the weirdest slice removal I've ever seen.
I know, it's weird.
Now, what on earth are you doing up there?
Okay, so, Sam, I won't be spoken to in that manner.
You talking back to me? If I hear the word sorry again, you will learn the meaning of the word sorry.
Look down, readjust the pizza for eating, raise it. That's it. All right, and no mugging.
Gotcha.
All right, here we go.
His attitude and his professionalism carries everybody through the whole shoot.
Grant is going to make sure everyone has a piece of cake, and the amount of time that it takes to eat those slices, he will duly deduct from your paycheck.
I think, you know, maybe over the years he's really matured, and over the course of his career, we've seen him go from this kind of the horror genre, and then can make a movie like Simple Plan, can make a movie like Spider-Man.
Sam explained it pretty good making the first one. We were shooting the ring sequence, and he turned at one point, he goes, you know, we're doing the same gags, but we just have a lot more money. It's nice that he can finally have the support. So if he goes, I got this crazy shot that I want to do, now he's got all the trained professionals in Southern California to go, okay, how can we make this happen? You know, it's nice that the guy with the big ideas finally gets the toys.